A critical question before we dive into today's show. How many years have you been a Cowboys fan? Truly, no wrong answer. And for life is also a very viable one as well. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Let's get some rumors going on today's show. First up, a Dak Prescott contract extension. 2 stars on this one. I get that the Cowboys are saying the same thing they've said for a while. I kind of need to see it happen, though, at some point before I actually assume it will happen, given how ugly it was last time around. Even though talking Dak contract is like talking politics, and all sides are dug in no matter what. The Cowboys publicly, even leaking to other reporters non-publicly, say that they want to extend Dak Prescott. They want to get that deal done, etc., etc., etc. Now, that's where the Cowboys are currently operating at with this time. That's fine. Prescott enters the final year of his deal this upcoming season. After this next year, he's in the final year of his contract. Quarterback contracts are very expensive. The number continues to rise as the salary cap rises, and there is understandable sticker shock involved. Here's what Stephen Jones told The Athletic at ownership meetings this past week. He's under contract now, but we'd like to do this after the season. Once the season is over, we will focus on that. Dak will be our quarterback. I need to see a deal happen. The last time that Dak was up for a contract, it was a multi-year ordeal in which the Cowboys continued to cost themselves salary cap space and money because they just didn't want to pay what the market really demanded. And I get there is sticker shock involved with these contracts. I totally understand. Even though the cap is going to be about $15 million each year on average the past several seasons, if not more than that, the number has gone from Dak was the highest paid quarterback when he signed his deal at $40 million or close to it, or among the highest paid guys. Now he's barely top 10. He's actually tied for 10th with Matthew Stafford, Daniel Jones, and then Prescott. It's not even a bottom tier deal of this group, right? You got Kyler Murray making $46 million. What might legitimately go down as the worst trade ever, Deshaun Watson. That's where we're trending. He's terrible. The Mahomes deal is kind of a weird deal. That's its own little separate contract right there. New guys got paid. I don't think you have to pay Dak Prescott that $53, $55 million price tag. Maybe it even comes in under $50 million. It would be a raise if you pay him. But the money doesn't even matter at this point. For many in the comments, it's either they think Dak is the guy or they hate him. It is politics. There's no middle ground. It's one side and the other side pushed to the margins over and over and over again. So do you want to pay Dak Prescott? I'm sure this won't be a dumpster fire of a comment section, but as long as you're not just ridiculously offensive, you can go comment. Y for yes, N for no at the pin poll of today's video. If the ad comes on YouTube, take advantage. Go vote. Now, I think for the most part, we should know our answer, right? Like we have seen Dak for a long time now. We know what he can be. We know what the highs are. We know what the lows are. With different offensive coordinators, overall, it's been very good. Not perfect. Not good enough so far. You also don't have to answer right now. It's kind of a non-issue for the Cowboys. It's not going to happen midseason. No way the Cowboys would pay Dak Prescott right now. It doesn't make sense for either party involved. So let's see what happens. I would like to once again emphasize what my gut says is that if it goes the way I think it's going to go this year, where you'll be a playoff team, you'll probably win a playoff game, and then the Niners will come bearing down and destroying you again, you're going to need real change. And I don't think real change will come if you fire Mike, promote Dan Quinn, make Brian Schottenheimer your offense coordinator, and says, Dak's our guy, we're going to roll it back with that. That's not real change. That's kind of just waving your hands around and like you're doing the trick game where the ball's in the cup and you're just moving the cups in circles over and over, but the ball actually doesn't change the spot. You're just doing this one in a circle. It's not actual change. It has to be more than that, or it's going to be more disappointment. You don't have a bad quarterback. To be clear, you actually have a very good quarterback, but you need greatness to win a Super Bowl. And as currently constructed, this team is not great. Hopefully, that changes in the coming weeks and months. Now, today's show is made possible by Rocket Money. Who here has had a subscription they forgot about? I know I have. I'll be honest. I got Apple TV for Ted Lasso and then forgot to cancel Apple TV once Ted Lasso was over. It happens to everybody, right? If you struggle to save money each month, with Rocket Money, you can quickly identify all those sneaky subscriptions that keep charging you month after month and cancel any that you no longer use. It's a very easy way to start saving money because over 80% of people have subscriptions that they forgot about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps lower your bills, all in one place. Over 5 million users and counting, Rocket Money has helped save its customers an average of $720 a year and $1 billion in total savings so far. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. The link will be in the comments section and in the description of today's show. Let's talk trade then for the rest of today's video. Are the Cowboys going to be buyers at this year's trade deadline? I'll give it 2 stars. It just might not be the level of buy that you want, especially when we're all watching the Eagles make a big-time trade for Kevin Byard, because that's what Howie Roseman tends to do. There is conflicting info out there, by the way, on just how aggressive the Cowboys will end up being at the trade deadline. The defense has been rumored as a focal point, which I think makes some sense because you trust Dan Quinn more than Mike McCarthy, right? The Cowboys have made deals in 4 of the past 5 years. There was a previous report from Jordan Schultz. The Cowboys are going to be aggressive, looking at a quarterback. Now we have this one from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, saying the Cowboys are not expected to be major movers at the deadline, barring surprise. They are content with the rosters as currently constructed. Then Charles Robinson kind of doing a middle ground. I think Robinson might be more on the nose here. I don't know who's been running their mouth inside the organization, but there's definitely a belief in some other front offices that Dallas is going to be making calls on a defensive addition. If anything, I think what Dallas is looking for is an equitable mid-level deal, could help with either depth at linebacker or in the secondary. I do not see it being a blowout pursuit. So prediction time. Will the Cowboys make a trade this year at or before the NFL trade deadline? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Get those predictions in for me in the comment section right now. I'll go with yes. I think they do something. Now, they're a little bit lighter on draft capital than they normally like to be. And I do doubt this would end up being a massive, earth-shattering Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Surtain, Amari Cooper, type of trade. I do think Robinson is right, by the way. The back 7 depth does make sense. You're very thin at linebacker. You've had some up and down injuries at corner and at safety, so back 7 play could certainly make some sense. Now, I know there's the report from friend of the show, Mike Fisher, that the Cowboys love Patrick Surtain, and just like Mike wrote, he's right. Of course they love Patrick Surtain. You know what else they love? Aaron Donald, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes. Every NFL team loves Surtain. But the cost to acquire him, if Denver even shops, which I don't think is going to happen, is far beyond the Cowboys' normal price tag range. So we have spent a lot of time on Surtain the past month-ish because Denver's a bad football team. The Cowboys love Surtain coming out of Alabama. He's been even better, I'd say, than what maybe Denver thought he'd be immediately in the NFL. He's one of the best young corners in football. It's just not very realistic, unfortunately. At least not mid-season. Maybe that could trade if they're trying to get the number 1 overall pick or something. Who knows? Kind of like the Panthers' DJ Moore stuff. Now, we will have more trade updates for you guys here and a live watch party on Sunday. Help us get to 169K subscribers. A very nice number, by the way. Hit that sub button if you haven't already done so. More trade rumors now on Zach Ertz. I've drawn a blank on who sent it to me originally, so a hat tip to you as well. 1 star on this one. NFL Analysis Network claims that the Cowboys had talks with Arizona. They've been in contact. They called about Zach Ertz. Brian Broaddus, meanwhile, says that's not true at all. I do know the guys over at NFL Analysis Network. I know the guys. I know Broaddus as well, and I'm going to take Broaddus' word like 99 times out of 98 times on this one. Does not make sense to me. I do not buy the report. I get the general idea of, tight end depth. Ertz, I think, is available in Arizona. The money's an issue at $9.1 million, prorated amount, so call it 4.5, whatever. Ertz is not the same guy anymore. Like, we do have to acknowledge that he is not the same caliber of player that he was previously. He's got not that many yards. He's not the same dynamic piece that he was in his prime. He's not the guy. He's never been a great tackle breaker. Honestly, Jake Ferguson's better. That's where I'm at. Now, I would love to get better blocking out of Luke Schoonmaker. If you're making an offensive play, I would rather invest my pieces into offensive line or a better back if you want to go that route. I cannot invest another piece in tight end when I have invested so much already at this stage. That's not something I'm interested in doing at this point. So don't get your hopes up for Ertz, and frankly, that's for the betterment anyway.